friends. Today is Themed Thursdays. I have 4 projects that I'm doing for you today, and the theme is fall leaves. Super excited about it. They're really cool. Hope you like them. Please let me know which ones you like, which one's your favorite, and don't forget to subscribe, share, like, comment. On Saturday, I will be doing my first giveaway. So every week I'm going to do 3 videos. So it'll be Totally Easy Tuesdays, Themed Thursdays, and Shopping Saturdays. So join me on Saturday for that shopping haul. Anyway, hope you love the projects. So let's just get started. All right, the next project, which is so cool. I'm really excited about doing it. It's a fall wall hanging. And what we need for this project is 3 of the wood ornaments. These are rather large, by the way. I mean, this is probably 11 inches, maybe 10 or 11 inches. And they're just that, you know, the thin little plywood kind of. So we're using 3 of those. 1 of the sparkly clip-on leaves. These come in a 2-pack, by the way. And the big wooden ornaments are sold individually. Mod Podge, of course. Some of the tumbling tower game, which, by the way, just so you guys know what that is when I talk about it, it is in the toy section. And if there's just a lot of these little blocks, it's like a Jenga game, but miniature. And these are so perfect in crafting. They're just a nice little size. This is probably, I'm gonna guess, maybe 1.5 inches long. And then I will be using the Crafter's Square oil pastels. So oil pastels are basically like a chalk with oil in it. I mean, that's the best way I would describe it. And so they're going to be more dense, and they're just, you'll see when we start using them. All right, so I took a popsicle stick and I tried some of the colors just so I could decide what 3 colors I wanted to use, because we will be using these on the big leaves. Each one of them will be done in a different color. All right, so I chose the brown, the red, and the orange. And that's just because I like that contrast. It's so fall, right? It's just very fall. But like this was, you know, you could use the gold. One of the greens is good, even the teals. So all of these, they're very fall looking. I'm just gonna go pretty traditional here, all right? So we're gonna take a leaf right here, put this over to the side. We don't need that right now. I'm gonna cut off the tag. And basically, this is coloring. So by the way, there is the little hole up here, which you can certainly fill that in, cover it up or whatever. Even I thought about taking a glue gun and filling that in and then coloring over it, which is probably what we'll end up doing. All right, so these are just, look at that. It's kind of like coloring with a crayon, okay? And you can do it as hard as you want. You can get a little deeper. I tend to go heavy on the edges because then it gives it sort of an outline. Do you see like that? And then in. And just gonna go and go and go and go and color all of these in, alrighty? So let's do that. Pick your 3 colors, color 3 in, and come back and show you what these look like. Okay, so I have 2 of my leaves done, the orange and the red. I did try and add some dimension on the leaf, and I don't think I really like it. So I ended up flipping it over, painting that side. Which brought me to pointing out 2 things about these. That there seems to be sort of 2 different sides. Maybe not, but there seems to be maybe more grain in the one side than the other. Anyway, what I've decided is flipping them over so that the hole up here is where, you know, they obviously went through it here and it protrudes. That if you take like the little block and sort of press it down, you can almost make it go away, okay? But if you can't, I took a popsicle stick and just broke it and sort of get some of the little wood pieces in there to sort of fill it in, and then drop a plop of hot glue on, just a little bit of hot glue in there. And then the other side, hopefully you won't see through. Anyway, so you can get the stuff at the Dollar Tree in the, like the car and tools area. They have like wood filler or spackle and something like that you can do it with. But it's really not necessary, I don't think. So I'm just going to sort of squash this down. There we go. And then the other side is there won't be like a see-through to the back. Okay, so then the last part is I want to show you how I'm coloring. I'm literally going around and outlining the entire thing pretty heavily. And so like you can see in this one and in this one. And then after I outline it, then I sort of top down and color it in. Let's see what it looks like all done. All right, so they're all 3 colored. What I like about the oil pastels is it sort of gives it a textured look. But you really honestly probably could do the exact same thing with crayons. Now what I'm going to do though is seal this in with Mod Podge. And the reason I'm going to do that is because of the oil pastels, they will, you could rub the color off. I did do a test with a popsicle stick. Put some oil pastels on it and then put some Mod Podge on and no Mod Podge to see the difference. This just really is a sealer. So I'm going to get those all sealed up and dried. Oops, sorry. Okay, so Mod Podge is all dry, and these are all have been colored with the oil pastels. And so now I'm going to start assembling them. I think that I'm probably going to need to use 2 of these blocks on each one of these leaves to get the 3-dimensional look that I want. And I am just going to give them a slight turn to give sort of that depth and the 3-dimensional on that. But you could do it however you want. Like you could do a bigger turn, whatever. I'm just doing a slight turn. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down. I'm just going to use a glue gun. I think that's going to work fine for what. These aren't very heavy, and so I think it'll hold it fine. Then I'm going to stick some glue up here. And my color pattern is I chose to put the red, then the orange, and then the brown. So just giving it a slight twist. I'm sort of watching that my stems are lined up because that, so I know that they're right on top. Let's go to the next one. I'm really liking this look. I think it's very cool. All right, and so now again, I'm gonna make sure that the stems are lining up right there. Then I'm gonna hold this down, just get it to dry a little bit. And I so really love the 3D effect of piling them on top of each other. Okay, next. Just to add another dimension now, I'm gonna add on this sparkly leaf. So these are the ones that come with a clip, and I'm going to leave the clip. And the reason I'm gonna leave the clip is because this is just another 3D, right? We're adding one more level. And then I was trying to decide like how I would display this. And I think I've decided that I'm absolutely just gonna make this a wall piece. And so something that I didn't show in the beginning of the video was ribbon that I wanted to use, but now I'm going to use that. Now, I want you to take note of where I did this. So the stem is coming down slightly over those stems. I have to hold it. And I'm making sure that it's standing off of the other leaves. Again, because I'm really looking for that three-dimensional look. All right, now I decided that I'm going to add a ribbon to this. And I have this ribbon, which I purchased one of my hauls. And I really like it, and I think it's a perfect match for this. I could do two things. I could put a holder on the back of this one and hang them up that way, or I can put a ribbon up here and hang them upside down. So I'm gonna let these dry for a little bit, and then we'll do a visual and make that decision. Okay, so now that it's dry, I've gotta say, this is a really cool piece. And I can hang it on the wall like this, or I can hang it on the wall like this. And I just can't decide. But what I do know is that I think I'm gonna add the ribbon. And again, this is ribbon that I got at the Dollar Tree. Not exactly sure when, but I think it just looks really beautiful with this. I don't think I'm going to use any other embellishments, just the ribbon. And everybody does their ribbon different. Again, my favorite thing, and I'm going to make sure I put a tail on this, is to loop, twist, loop, twist, loop, twist, loop, twist, loop, twist. One thing, whenever I do a ribbon like this, I'm always going for odd numbers, so 3, 5, 7s, and even, I don't know why, it's just something about, like in decorating too, whenever you decorate, you use groupings of 3, 5s, and 7s, so odd numbers always look better. All right, so now I'm gonna hold this. I'm just gonna take another piece of the ribbon. I could use twine, but I'm gonna keep this with minimal items being used for it. So I'm gonna cut another piece. And all I'm going to do is take that around over the middle of it and knot it in the back. I have to use my teeth to hold one-sided string. All right, and tie that really tightly. And give it a second knot so that it doesn't come apart. And there you go. And then I'm going to just turn this way to glue this on. I keep doing that, so I guess I'm probably going to end up putting this up with the, like this on the wall. All right. Now all I'm going to do is probably slip the stem of this through the ribbon. Nah, I'm just going to glue it on. Before I do that, I'm going to cut all of my ribbons. Normally I dovetail. In this particular project, I think just a slant on the, these are so hard to do though. Just a slant on the ribbon is probably good. A slant cut at the bottom. Need some better scissors for doing this, I think. And there you go. And I'm going to glue that on. And then on to the next project. Did I get them all? Hope so. So, not having good luck with this ribbon right now. Okay. You could glue it here or you can glue it here. So I actually think I'm going to glue up here because I want the leaf to really show through. God, that's a hard one. I don't know. I might just wait a bit before I decide that. So anyway, when you guys do it, you can put it here, you can put it here, you can not do it, you can whatever. Let's go on to the next project. I love this one, by the way, though. I just really love that 3D effect. And this one was $3 on the leaves, $4 on this. However, it came as a package of 2, so I have extra. The ribbon was $1, but obviously I have quite a bit of ribbon left. And then the Jenga blocks on there. If you went and bought everything, and the oil pastels and the Mod Podge. So if you had to go buy absolutely everything that you needed for this project, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the Jenga blocks would be $8. But remember, you have leftover stuff from all of that. And you can use in another project. Okay, so there we go. That's going to be this one. Let's go on to the next one. All right, so for this project, we are going to use a pumpkin tray. It's about 9 inches. A leaf plastic tray, which is also about 9 inches. Some picks. This one is just some berries and this pick. But I want you to notice a couple things. I chose these. The leaves come in 3 different colors. The pumpkins come in 3 different colors. I'm pairing these two together because of the how well they coordinate. It's a very rich looking color combination. And I'm throwing these in because obviously it matches very well. And this one pulls some bright in, but it's also pulling that green in with these leaves. That's how I chose the picks that I use. You can use any picks that you want though. I'm also going to be using some wired jute rope. This will be, when we are all done, a 3-dimensional wall hanging. So let's get started. I'm not going to join these together until I have completed their decorations. So the first one, I'm going to use this leaf pick. I mean, not leaf, well, this pick on this leaf. And what I want is for it to sit up on it just like that. And so I'm going to make this super easy and just bend this over against the back of it because I'm going to be wrapping the base in the jute twine. So I can sort of see that that's gonna, where that's gonna go there. I'm just gonna take my glue gun, put some glue in here. And glue that on. And then I'm gonna grab the jute and I'm gonna wrap the stem. You can see I have wrapped the wired jute around, holding that stem in place and just decorating that up some. So now as I come to the end here, it's just a little trickier, I guess. Just gonna continue wrapping, and then I'm just gonna sort of close it in on itself. If you guys can see that, hopefully. Just gonna close it in on itself and finish that off right there. So I'm gonna cut that. I still don't have my wire cutters here. I don't even know why I don't do that. Super easy to cut though, but that's, all right. Cut that off. Glue my little ends in here and finish off that stem. Okay, or the yeah, the stem of the leaf. Okay, look at that. That looks super cool. Now I'm gonna go over to the pumpkin and I'm gonna kind of do the same thing. I'm gonna glue down some of my greenery. I'm gonna keep it more to this side because of course, when I put them together, you're not really gonna see this side of the pumpkin. So I'll come back, show you the pumpkin all done. Okay, so I glued that on. I've glued the stems up here a little bit. But I wanted to say, I removed the leaves from them and I'm gonna cut the leaves off so I can put them around individually, like up here, like they would be, you know, leaves on the pumpkin. And I'll throw some down in here just to add some greenery in there. Okay, so now I have the leaf all done and the pumpkin all done. And as you can see, on the leaf, I used the sprig just the way it was. I didn't change it at all. On the berries, I did cut it apart and sort of laid it out how I wanted it. Now you could leave these just the way they are and hang them on the wall separately. I'm going to join them together. That was what my intention was. I'm not going to steer away from it. Now, this literally balances on the pumpkin, and I don't want to match them up exactly. I want there to be a little staggered. So because I've got it on there just so, kind Kind of liked it where I had it. Once you find where you like it and it stays, then I'm going to take a Sharpie and I am going to find the pumpkin underneath and just make a line. Hopefully, nope, didn't get that. Yep, I sort of did. So I just got a little line there, which tells me that this is, yeah, look at that, it even matched up. So this is where I'm going to glue on that leaf. And hopefully this is all gonna come out okay. I think I wanna take this sticker off because I usually do. Hey, that one came off in one piece. How fantastic. And then what I'm gonna do is sort of follow that line with the pumpkin, because it looks like it's gonna attach right in here, sort of visually. I'm hoping this. Now, if you wanted to, by the way, you could use more than hot glue. I could be using the super glue adhesive from the Dollar Tree, and I could be putting that on, the Fix All adhesive, but I'm not going to, because I actually am curious as to how well just the hot glue will hold up. All right, so let's see. If I flip it over, I want to see that I have it where I want it. And yeah, that's pretty good. I think that looks really, really phenomenal. Gonna let that sit and dry for a second. Flip it over. I'm gonna add some more hot glue, and then I'm gonna need to do a hanger. So as far as a hanger goes, I think just a simple twine hanger would be fine. And where I would probably do it is from the pumpkin back here, because I can't do it in the center. It'll hang it lopsided. So I have to find the overall center of the whole thing. So probably about here. Anyway, this project looks beautiful. Super happy with that. I love the color scheme. So let's find something else to do with leaves, shall we? Forgot to go over the cost of this. All right, so this was $1, $2 for the two plastic leaf and the pumpkin. So that's 1, 2, this pick 3, this pick 4, the jute ribbon 5. But as I always say, there's stuff left over because I still have some jute ribbon left over. I still have some leaves left over, which I'll use for sure in something else. So for $5, that's a pretty cool wall hanging. I did use the wired to jute to put a hanger on the back there so that I can hang it on the wall. Anyway, just wanted to go over that price. Okay, this is like a super, super, super simple one. So I purchased this little house that says happiness is you. I actually think it's cute. It's fine. I would use it as decoration on a shelf. But the back side is completely bare. And so we are going to dual purpose this little house here and make one side fall. So of course I'm removing the stickers. I do love it when they come off that easy. And then I'm gonna move to the front, and I'm actually going to take these flowers off, but I will be putting them back on. So I'm just looking to grab them as best I can and hopefully not destroy them too bad. Although if I did, I suppose I could just put some different flowers on it. Yeah, it's okay. I can glue that back. I'm totally fine there. And let's see how we do with this one. Maybe a screwdriver might have worked a little bit better, because this is like a super thin foam that they have these. So before I do anything, I'm just gonna quickly sort of reinforce that base so they don't come apart too much. I stuck to it, and lay them down to dry, because I am gonna put them back on. Again, this is so simple, but it's gonna be super cute. Okay, oh, and what I have for this project, I have the house, I have some burlap leaves, and I have some twine. It really doesn't get any simpler than that, people. So now that I took the flowers off, I'm going to take my twine and I am going to wrap it around this. Actually, I should tie it in the back though. And I'm going to wrap around down here at the bottom of it, like at the base of it. I don't want to cover up the leaves that are on the front, but I want to be down in, you know, down lower on this piece. Because if I did that up here, I would cover up the words, right? All right. I'm going to knot this right about here. And then I'm going to take my burlap leaf, the orange one, and I just like the orange because I think orange just screams fall, right? So these come with a wire on them, and then you can wire them into things. So I'm going to slip this wire underneath my string and just watch the size of this burlap leaf. It is perfect size, right? Because guess what? You don't see it from that side. So I just love the fact that this is like, you know, it can literally be hidden. Now you can glue it down if you want. I am going to put just a dot of glue right in this general area just to keep it from showing through on the other side when I turn it around. And you can always trim like right there, all right? So maybe we think that shows through, so let's just get it out of there. All right, now I'm gonna take the wire that I have here and I'm going to bend it up. Why? You ask why? Amy, why are you bending that wire up? Well, because it gives me the perfect little place to put my next leaf and give me some three-dimensional. Look at that. You see? So now I am just going to throw a bead of glue down the center of my leaf here. And I'm going to plop it right on top of that wire. Let that dry. And do you see, look how pretty that is. I just get a nice little three-dimensional. And then I'm gonna take the final leaf and I'm just gonna glue it sort of over, well, let me let that dry just a little bit. And I'm gonna glue it just down a little bit lower right here. So, but before I do that, I want this to have just a little bit different shape when I'm putting it on there so that it is slightly smaller and yada, yada, yada. All right, so I'm gonna take my leaf, just run sort of a line of glue down the middle of it, and I'm gonna scrunch it together. Sort of make the size a little bit smaller. And then I'm gonna fold that one down just a little bit too. All right. And now I'm just gonna take this little end of the wire right here. Okay, so this coming out from underneath. I'm gonna pop that up. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. I sort of just made like an arch in the wire right here at the end. And that's just so that I can put this final leaf like right on top of that right there. So there's my little arch in the wire. I'm gonna put my little leaf down and hold it there. Did you see? That's so cute, and it was so easy. Easy peasy, right? Now, I could do some other things. Like if I wanted to add some other leaves in, I could. I don't. I think it's done, and I think it looks so cool. I'm just gonna take my little string on the side here. I'm gonna give it a little knot, and then I'm gonna glue my flowers back on the front. Look at that. So cool, so fall. And I turn it over. All I'm gonna do is glue back on my little flowers, and this thing is going to be done. And voila, we have a two-sided home decor piece that is adorable. By the way, if you don't like the flowers, this would be the perfect time to switch them out. I am not, because I wanted to show you that you don't have to. Okay, so flowers back on. And now you have Happiness Is You. And by the way, the string on the front is super cute on it. And when you flip it over, you have Fall. I love this. All right, so the cost for this. The little house was $1. The twine was $1 that my cats got too, but you use it in so many projects, right? The burlap leaf was comes in a package of 5, so obviously it's less than $1, but $1. And then the package of their maple leaves, and they have like 4 or 5 of the burlap ones in there, which is what I took out. So if you went to the Dollar Tree and bought all of your supplies, the house $1, twine $1, that's $2, $3, $4, and for $4 you have a what? A double-sided home decor piece, which I think is so cute. Okay, this is another leaf project. I have this pumpkin tray, and it's somewhat see-through. Some twine, a bag of the maple leaves, and the other half of my 2-pack of the sparkly clip-on leaves, and some Mod Podge. This is what we are going to do, is upscale this little serving platter very easily, and it's going to look adorable when we're done. So the very first thing I'm going to do is be Mod Podging, and I am going to be Mod Podging the back of this with leaves all over it. This is going to be easier if I get these leaves a little bit wet. And so I'm gonna get started and come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, so after I've done a few of these, I think I should just let you know that the best way to do it is to take your hot glue gun and just put a couple of dabs of glue on like the points of the leaf, and then glue it down, because I have been trying with the Mod Podge, and not that that doesn't work, it just takes a little bit longer. So when you do the glue, it like literally glues it down, and then you can go back with the Mod Podge and like soak it all down so that it will permanently adhere to the back side of this tray. So this is a process that it takes a little bit of time, because you have to be patient. So as I'm gluing them down, they're drying a little bit, and then I go back in with Mod Podge. So this isn't a quick process. However, it's going to be really cool when it's done. So even right now, as I'm doing this and I flip it over, I know there's like some spots that aren't dry, but you can see how the colors are coming through and leaf shapes are coming through, which is going to give it like another dimension. It's not like just the clear plastic right here. There's all this color behind it, which is going to make it a really, really, really beautiful tray. So be patient, but maybe the best thing to do is to hot glue down your leaves and then Mod Podge them. It's not a simple process. It's a long process, but well worth it in the end. All right, so just to clarify, I'm taking a leaf and I'm throwing some hot glue on the points, because that's seems to be what's the hardest to get to lay flat. So putting a little hot glue on there and then placing it on the tray, and I'm trying to make sure that I leave no empty spaces. And I know it's outside of the border. We'll trim that off. So just laying it down with some glue from your glue gun and then going back over. Okay, so I let this dry overnight. All the leaves have been Mod Podged on. And I did really find that it was easier to hot glue them down a little bit and then Mod Podge over. It took an entire package of the maple leaves. I have 2 maple leaves left. That's okay. and basically an entire bottle almost of Mod Podge. But in the end, as you can see the leaves through this clear platter. So now, because some of these leaves are sticking up, I've got glue down there, we're gonna do a little trimming, and all I'm gonna do is take my scissors and go around and trim right at the top of that tray, just to bring them even with the top. It's a little harder as you get around the stem here. Okay, anyway, so we'll do that, and then I'm gonna take twine and I'm going to wrap the stem, and then we're going to glue this leaf on, and we should be done. Getting this trimmed down a little bit. I feel like the edge needs to be finished. So I have some of my jute, wired jute left from the last project. And so I'm going to just trim this up all the way around with this jute wired cord to give it a finished look. I really do think that gives it a nice finished look. Let me finish that up. Okay, so I glued that down all the way around it. I did it in small sections, making sure that I got it all the way down. And I have this little tail left, and so I'm going to use a pencil here and just make it a little tail for my top of the pumpkin. Just using a pencil to give it that little curl. So there's the wire there. I need to wrap that around the wire so it's not sticking out. And there you have it. Now I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to wrap the stem up. I'm just going to go around and around and around, glue, get it started, glue it down, and then wrap and glue to get a nice wrap on this. And you do have to sort of glue because it's not a shape that it naturally wraps around, so it wants to ride up and not stay down where we're putting it. So I think what I'm going to do is just run a bead of glue here, a bead of glue here, just go. Okay, I'll bring it in there. Come back with that finished off. Okay, we have that all wrapped, and now I'm going to glue this clip-on maple leaf, and I'm going to use this as the gluing point. So I'm just gonna plop some glue on there, slide it up, and hold it there to glue. Now I have 2 leaves left over from my package, so I was thinking about adding them in here, and I probably will. So to do that, put some hot glue on this one. And then also, I've used up my entire package, which always feels good to finish something when you're crafting, right? To finish a package of something. I'm not sure why, but we do like that. And then put this sleeve on. And there you have it. I think this is cute. I really like how it came out. The other thing I could do is add some green right here, just so you guys get some ideas. There's all kinds of things you can do. I think actually I am going to do that. I'm always in the midst of crafting, you know. Nothing is ever like set in stone when you go to do a project. You will end up changing things as you go along. We all do. Oh, finger, ouch. I need my protectors on. I don't have them on right now. But that's one of the fun things about crafting too, I think, is like because it is so creative, and you know, it's not like putting a puzzle together where every piece has a spot. In crafting, you can really sort of make it your own and do what you want. I love this. I think this is very beautiful. Can you see how we can see the leaves through it? And this is just a nice little serving tray now. Put some candy corn in here or some nuts, whatever. And we took a dollar tray from the Dollar Tree and upscaled it. So let's talk about price. So $1 for the tray, $1 for the bag of the leaves. This was 2 in a package, so technically it was 50 cents. And the jute was what I had left over. But even if you went to buy all the products, like I always say, you'd have 1 in the bowl, 2 in the leaves, 3 in the wire, 4 in the leaf here, and technically 5 with the string, and then the Mod Podge. But you know, you can use whatever you have at home too. Now, as I'm looking at this, I can see like where I've cut some of them. You know, I'll probably go back and just give them a little dab of glue and glue them down so they're not sticking up. All right, I love this project. I think it's really cool. And again, just taking a cheap little platter from the Dollar Tree, and these, by the way, size-wise, I want to say that these are 9. Yeah, they're about 9 inches in length. So there you go. Hope you like it. Did you guys like them? Because I think it was totally fun to do. I got to say, my absolute favorite is the 3D leaf back here. I think that's super cool. And also the tiny little one that was so super simple, which is the 2-sided fall decoration. Yeah, totally love that one as well. Anyway, you guys, I'm having a whole lot of fun doing this. So don't forget to come back and see me on Saturdays for Shopping Saturdays, where I'll be doing my very first giveaway on Halloween. That's the first one. And then it's Totally Easy Tuesdays, Themed Thursdays, and Shopping Saturdays. Did I say themed Saturdays earlier? I'm not sure. Anyway, so hope to see you on Saturday. Don't forget to leave me a comment below. Please let me know which one of these was your favorite. If you do not leave a comment below, you can't be part of the giveaway. So hopefully you will. We'll talk to you real soon. See you back here at Bella's Bargains. Have a great day, great week, great life. God bless everybody. We'll see you soon.